if I didn't do good in the kitchen, then it means I didn't do well. And there was all this fear and angst tied up around this career and what I was doing. And I wasn't doing this because it was coming from a soul aligned place, or a place that I really, really wanted to do it. It was coming from a place of obligation, a place of family pressure, a place of family pride, so to say. So you're listening to the Uncharted Soul Podcast, a high vibe, noble show for the souls who want more in their life, relationship, and bank account. I'm your host, Cindy, and I refuse to play by the rules. I'm a clairvoyant medium and a master NLP practitioner. I'm also the founder of the Cindy Pape brand. So my mission is to show you that you have the power within you and that we are all truly intuitive souls. You want to learn more about your soul? Then you've come to the right place. Now let's begin. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Uncharted Soul. Before we get into it, I'd like to just take the time to, let's just go into a little bit of a meditation session, just a calming down, calming the energy, clearing the energy, and just being present in this moment, okay? So if you can and you're not driving, sit up straight, close your eyes, and just follow with me. Just gonna close your eyes. Breathe in and out. What I'd like you to do now is just place your hand on your heart and just breathe in and out. And just relax into this moment. Just be present and breathe in and out. And I want you just to release any tension, stress, anxiety, or any feeling that you have right now that is just that you just don't feel is helping you or being productive in any which way. Just let it out. Anything that you're holding on to, anything that's anyone else, any frustrations, any just things that are toxic, things that feel stuck. I ask that that your cells let go of anything that may be holding you back in this moment right now. We let it go. And we breathe in. Let's focus on our inward breath, breathing in all light and love, that our cells are open to receiving light, joy, and just abundance in all areas of our lives. We breathe that in now. I just take this time to just be still and sit down tension for this moment, that we be present in this moment, to be taking everything that this moment has to offer. We'll just slowly open our eyes and be present and just fully here for this moment. Thank you guys. Thank you for going through that bit of just feels good. A bit of a guided just centering and everything that goes along with that. So yeah, I've got a little citrine crystal in my hand because I just feel it is calling me. So I've got that in my hand and just, so if you see me fidgeting, like I'm fidgeting with a citrine crystal. So today I feel called, or just feel guided, to dive a little bit into that discussion that we sort of talk about, or that we don't fully get into. But I feel now's the time to talk about soul. And knowing when something is coming from your soul, knowing when something is truly soul aligned, knowing something is coming from a place of you-ness and not coming from a place of fear. So really the title of this is how to know if it's fear, or if it's coming from, if what you're thinking is coming from a place of fear or coming from a place of truly being aligned from you, that you truly shouldn't do something, not out of just fear or because it's you're so led to steer away from it, or not. I know, kind of crazy. Like, I didn't know I was going to go the fear bit before I started, so crazy. So my thing, well, not my thing, my methodology, my way of going through things, going through life, going through every moment is always asking myself, is this what I truly want, or what society wants me to do? Or am I not doing something because it's coming from a place of fear or a place of resistance? So that is mainly my methodology, my way of looking at things, my way of trying to actually figure out what's the what kind of a thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to like break it down a little bit for you. What does each actually feel like? What does it feel like to know something is soul aligned? What it feels like to know something coming from a place of fear? Or what it feels like when something's coming from a place of just societal pressure, societal norm. And in essence, then it goes back to really in a fear sense, because most of the time when we are not following what someone else says, well, and we're not sure if we should do it, it is fear that makes us do it, because we fear of letting them down, a fear of disappointment, a fear that they're not going to like us if we do not do what they have suggested for us or shown us or wanting us to tap into, in essence. So we're going to speak a little bit about that. And for the, like, I have hinted like several times, and I think you guys know this by now, that I have actually been in, I've been in law school. And for me, law school was never really something that I honestly wanted to do, that I felt like this massive calling to do, or anything. Like, this is, let me put it this way for you. So I have always been told a few things in my life. Like, one was that I should maybe become a hairdresser because I'm so good with hair and love it. And I'm like, dude, I was like a little kid. I like playing with hair. So that doesn't mean I should become a hairdresser. But that's something that I heard a lot when I was growing up. And then as I got a little bit older, rebellion sets in, and you get that rebellious streak where you can argue your way out of a paper bag kind of a thing. And that was me. I just would argue, and I would remember things and what people would say, and I just held true to that. And that was something that everyone's like, oh, you should become a lawyer. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I didn't feel that I was clever enough at the time or smart enough at the time to become a lawyer. And then I got told, well, you like cooking so much, so why don't you just become a chef? And it was my mother's like, you can't sit around at home all day while you're trying to find yourself and figure out what it is that you want to do. Go and do something useful with yourself. And so I did actually go to chefing school. So yay, guys. I am actually, I know, like one of like many hats that I wear. I, at like the age of 19, went into chefing and became a trained chef. And I freaking rocked it. Like, dude, I can cook. Like, I can cook. So if you ever come to one of my retreats or one of my events where, or my private inner, if you ever get to the chance to get to my private inner circle, where it's me and 2 or 3 other people, you get to taste my cooking, and it's pretty freaking awesome. Like, honestly, my husband reckons that I ruined, like when I met him, and I cooked for him, he's like, oh, that's it, you've just ruined my life. And I was like, why? He's like, I can never eat out again because food at home is so much better. And it's quite funny. It's like, it reminds me of when we went to this restaurant. It was Honey something or whatever, or Beehive. It's something to do with bees, anyways. And they had this honey cider vinegar glazy thing on a piece of pork, and it was so divine. But the problem is, this restaurant was like a 45-minute drive from where we lived, and when you've got a busy life, busy everything, you're not going to spend like 45 minutes just driving. So, and if we did, it was like a really special occasion kind of thing to go to this restaurant, because it was like in the middle of nowhere. So I figured, I'll just make that dish at home. And I did, and I got it pretty bang on making it myself. And he was like, there it goes again. She just spoiled it. She just spoiled it for us. So yeah, if you go out with me, I have, since having kids, I've not done that as much, because, well, it just takes so much effort and so much creativity and so much time. So yeah, you're safe. Like, in that aspect, take me to a restaurant, we're safe for now. But same with like cooking and stuff. I started cooking at a really young age, And so cooking was just something I naturally do, and I'm damn good at doing it. And then I got thrown into, well, I should do it, and all this pressure on, well, I don't want to disappoint family, and like I'm being told X, Y, Z, so I just better go do cooking. And I did do chefing for a while. I worked at a really top restaurant. I did work at a hotel. I even went overseas and ran my own kitchen overseas as well. So I did that, but I was like never fully. I enjoyed the art of creating, but I was just so shit scared. Like every time I plated something and presented something, I felt like I was like my heart was like on that plate and being, if somebody didn't fully like it, it was like my heart was being ripped to shreds because I kind of felt that I was doing this to represent my family. And if I didn't do good in the kitchen, then it means I didn't do well. And there was all this fear and angst tied up around this career and what I was doing. And I wasn't doing this because it was coming from a soul aligned place, or a place that I really, really wanted to do it. It was coming from a place of obligation, a place of family pressure, a place of family pride, so to say. So understandably, I had anxiety when I did it. And I just wanted everyone to love it, because if they loved it, then I must be doing a good job and I must be really good at what I do. Okay, mind you, I'm going to say this. I am damn good and I do really good food. I loved it at one stage. Even with my husband, I had a blog, and it was all about like the art of presenting the food to make it look good, because you eat food with your eyes and that kind of. So like this food thing like didn't go away, kind of a thing, and it was always there. But then I kind of left. Well, like not kind of. I just left it because it was physically exhausting me, and just the anxiety and everything physically drained me, that I was actually feeling it on my bones and everything, and I couldn't. And I was a lot skinnier then as well, so I couldn't stand for 8 hours and 12 hours on end in a kitchen anymore. It just was. I just, I just couldn't. And at that stage, I was like only like 21, 22, and I was already so had so much fear and angst or whatever that was starting to physically manifest, that I wasn't actually able to do this job anymore, that just going into it was just filling me every day with dread. I had the little bit of like art and just artistic creativity that I did find in it. That's why I did it when I was younger, because I would do it just for the sake of doing it, and there was fun, it was freeing, it was artistic. But when it got forced into this bubble of that I had to do it, I became like rebellious a little bit. But also the anxiety and the pressure of it all just became a little bit too much for me, and I stopped. I just like went cold turkey, saying nope, I'm not doing this anymore, that's it. And I left it. Then the same thing happened against me with law school, and I I would say I was pressured, but at the end of the day, I'm a grown ass adult, and I'd allowed myself to be placed in that situation where I was like, I didn't listen to my inner knowing and my inner judgment, and I just felt that, well, if I'm being shown this, that means that it must be from a soul, so it must be from a spirit, so I'm just gonna go with it and do law, which could not be further from the truth. It was literally spirit showing me, dude, this is a wash repeat of what happened with cooking, and I didn't see it as such. I kind of let fear once again take its fear and judgment and pressure and everything get a foothold, and I just went to law school again. Haha, good. um I could argue with you about so many laws, so many things I learned in law school, but no, I'm not a lawyer. So I did go to law school, but I'm not a bar registered lawyer. However, in doing so and so many things, I have learned along the way what truly it means to be in a situation, a career, a opportunity, a course, a mentorship, a family situation, I've learned to distinguish what is a fear-led decision or what is a soul-aligned decision. And I've spoken to you now about like the parts that fear let me down, and I'm sure you can also relate where you have chosen certain career paths, chosen certain situations, chosen certain partners in fear of rejection from family members, in fear of rejection from loved ones, in fear of rejection from society, in fear of something else, in fear of I'm not worthy of anything else, or what if I don't find somebody else to love me, so I'm just gonna go with this so I'm gonna be with a so person that doesn't fit all the every layer, every aspect of what you actually want in a relationship, but you just chose them anyway because, well, what if? So fear made a decision on that one, and the fear of maybe I'm not going to get better, just took that one, and the fear of like, well, if I don't become a lawyer or an architect or painter, then my family are just like going to disown me, kind of a thing. Same thing. We a lot of things in life we make fear-based decisions, and even just something simple as going out with friends. Like, if I say no to going out with them, then they're not going to respect me again. And it's not. I know it sounds like trivial to say, oh, like silly. Of course, my friends are still gonna like me if I don't go out. But I can tell you that you've probably had that thought of, I probably just better suck it up. Like, suck it up, buttercup, and just do it because that's what good friends do, good da da da, and that's what, happens. And we've all been in that situation, and I've been in that situation, and I don't pretend that it doesn't happen, that I'm Miss Perfect over here. No, I'm not. I've just told you, like, I have been in situations where I've done exactly that, where I've let fear control the outcome. But that is why I want you to understand now, so that you don't continue to or start doing that same mistake of misinterpreting soul-led compared to fear-led. And how you know if something is coming purely and honestly from your soul is that there's no emotion attached to it. There's no judgment attached to it. There's no, but if what? It's just light. It just feels easy. It feels good. And I know good is an emotion, but it doesn't have a judgment to it. It just feels right. It feels like that perfect pair of shoes. And yeah, I love shoes. It just feels like the most perfect pair of shoes that you just slip in, and it just feels like home and comfort, like a big old bowl of mac and cheese, a big old bowl of soup, a big bowl of comfort, a big bowl of just a warm and loving hug and embrace. And that's what, if you want to be honest, what something feels like when it's truly soul aligned. It feels that way. It just feels right. Like, I've had other podcasts before, and they did not feel right. They felt like I was doing it for the sake of doing it for the business. But compared to the Uncharted Soul, which just feels good, like I could be chatting to you guys all day, every day, that kind of thing. It just feels good. And that's what you need to look at when you're looking at a situation, going, does in my core, in my heart of hearts, in my inner knowing, in my inner intuition, does this feel right? Does this feel like a heck yes? Like, I'm there running, like, can't hold me back. You can't hold me back. I'll do this for free. I'll do it, whatever. This just, it lights you up. It fires you up. It is truly almost orgasmic. That kind of a yes. That's like, yes, 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 I want to do this. If it doesn't feel that way, then you got to question it. Like, just question it for a little bit, going, like, and it could be and I'm gonna put a little bit of a caveat on it, because I'm like, I know you're going, well, Cindy said if it doesn't feel like it, yes, 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 then like, don't go it. You can have the it feels good, but I'm scared, and that's okay. That's okay. It could be, I really want to become an architect, but I'm scared. That's okay. That is perfectly fine. You just need to push through it. You just need like the little shove through the door to know that you are being supported in all ways and in all things. And if the universe has shown this to you, that means it's yours for the taking. If it's shown it to you, and God and Spirit has shown it to you in your heart's of heart and in the alignedness, and showing you that this is it, this feels good. It feels, ooh, like you have that moment of, and I tell you, this is what happens. You don't have the, oh, it feels good, and like at the same time as like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Those two will not be side to side. They are two conflicting paradigms, thoughts, feelings, emotions. You will have the, oh, it feels good. And then as you go, you're like, I know that feels good, but can I do it? That's like, there will be a moment of shift, and where you start thinking from your, I like to call it the monkey brain, where the monkey brain takes over, where the fear sits, and it's like, I don't know if I can do this. That's when that's okay. And that's where you just push through it and you go, I know this has been shown to me. This is destined for me, so I will do it. And I know that I may buffer up against some resistance, a little bit of fear, but that is just the fear of the unknown. And it's also, what happens is your monkey brain tries to protect you, tries to keep you safe. When you get into an element of unknown that it doesn't know, or it's different to what everyone else in your family is doing, what everyone else in society is doing, it's an unknown quantity. And it's like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want to step out and say you're a medium? Are you sure you want to step out and say, I'm not going to be a lawyer anymore, I'm going to become a doctor? Are you sure you want to say that you want to become a farmer? Are you sure you want to say that you want to become a healer? Are you sure? Are you sure that you want to become a school teacher instead of the doctor? Are you sure that you want to become, you get the gist. Are you sure you want to become a business owner and not just buy a franchise, blah, 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 or an entrepreneur? You get the gist. This applies to every avenue in life, everything that you're in life. Like, are you sure you want to become a mother, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you're going to bat up to that resistance, but that's in the moments when you say, you know what? Yes, I choose to believe that I have been shown this from a soul-aligned path, and I'm taking the steps into the known and knowing that it will be okay, all will be well, all will be fine, and I will shine. I don't need to know how it's going to happen. I just need to take a step into what is soulfully mine, what is soul-aligned, and what will be there for me. Okay? I know, it's like, that's what you said, but it is. It literally is what's coming from a soul-aligned place. Like, really, truly, it will be in such alignment with you. And then, I'm not going to deny it, there will be a little bit of resistance. There is, with everything you do, there is a little bit of resistance. But when you start, the difference between the soul place and coming from a place of fear, you starting off, the one starts off with pressure from external source, and it's an external influence. It's influence from other people, family, friends, society, blah, blah. The other one, it's an internal one. It's an internal discussion with you, and it's an internal thought, an internal resistance that comes up, and it's like, I don't know. And it may even be like, well, if I do this, they're going to judge me. Who gives a crap if they're going to judge you? That's their problem, not yours. You are aligned with your soul path, and it's been shown to you, therefore it's yours, and that is what you will do. Okay? So, always have that moment of gut check. Always have that check of knowing, going, is this truly mine? Where's it coming from? Is it coming from a place of external source, or is it coming from truly within me? Did I get shown it? Do I truly feel it? Is it a heck yes, this feels good? And despite what I may be a little bit fearful of, I'm going to do it anyway, because I know that I'm fully aligned, fully following my soul's path, my soul's journey on this earth as we are now. Okay? Anyway, that's my little rant or whatever on choosing something from a soul-aligned place compared from choosing a life or reality from a fear-based place. And it literally is coming from a place that is soul-aligned and creating a reality that is soul-aligned to you, being energetically aligned with what it is that you truly want. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'd love for you to let me know what it is that you're doing, where it is you're going, because you know this by now. I love chatting with you, and I love knowing what it is that is going on in your side of the world. So, as always, love talking to you. Love it, and sending you love. Bye.